Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Where we want to start, though, is talking about the serious problem of hunger. And we do it with three serious guys who are all three public servants. We're going to address this topic. First, of course, my buddy Eric Aft. He's the CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank in Northwest North Carolina. And then our friends David Daggett, Griff Shuler from the Daggett Shuler Law Firm. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Jim.
Good to be here.
Eric, let me start with you. Let's remind everybody what the mission is of the food bank.
Yeah, we address food insecurity across the 18 counties of Northwest North Carolina, as well as the root causes. And at this time, we're actually helping out 3 of the counties of our sister food bank who was impacted by Hurricane Helene.
Right, and we'll get to that in just a second, too. But before I do that, and before I forget, let's also remind people that as a warehousing and distribution and administrative unit, we can't have people coming to you directly because you have agencies for that, right?
That's exactly right. Actually, 496 partners across those 18 counties that are on the ground that we work with closely to make sure that people facing food insecurity are able to access food that they need for their families.
All right, now let's get back to Hurricane Helene, the devastating aftermath of that. I know that you've been doing a lot of assistance up there at first, emergency relief, that type of thing. How has your relief efforts changed since then, and how's it going now?
Yeah, 6 of our own counties and 3 of Manna Food Bank's counties are ones that we're focused on right now. You know, at the beginning, it was all about getting food, water, especially ready-to-eat items. So a lot of pop-top items because, of course, nobody had electricity, potable water. So making sure that people could pop things open, eat, and get the nutrition that they needed. We have shifted to a lot more fresh food, with 30% of the grocery stores not in operation in that area. Is getting access to food is critical, and especially fresh items. So whether it's dairy, eggs, produce, meats, we are going there every single day in various counties to make sure that it's there.
That's just great. David, speaking of helping communities, you and Griff and your team have been supporting the food bank, community food drives for a long time. Why?
Well, we have. It's important. Every time Eric talks about it, I kind of get goosebumps. What their organization does is absolutely amazing, and it's very complex with all your member agencies. It's very, very complex. But I think the backbone is the individuals and the individual small businesses that all piece together that add up to this gigantic effort. And Griff and I think it's incumbent on a local business that we are part of community efforts that help in an area of drastic need in our community.
And that's an everyday need, not just with a hurricane.
It is an everyday need. And the thing that it's hard for me to wrap my head around is probably hunger and food insufficiency is the number one issue in our prosperous, beautiful area.
Right.
It's shocking.
City of the arts, all sorts of prosperous things going on, businesses, economic development. Yeah, hunger is still a problem. Griff, you were shaking your head yes when David was talking about so many things and causes that you guys can support, and you choose a food bank. Why?
Think about the impact Second Harvest Food Bank has been making in our community for years. Number one, started in 1982, so been around for a long, long time, from Boone to Burlington. Think about that in the counties and the people that they've impacted. And then you think about the fact that in addition to servicing folks in their immediate food insecurity, they go to the source of the problem and include things like nutrition education that makes a more lasting impact. Right. So, for David and me to see the impact they're making with so many people on that geographic area for so long, how can you not support this group?
Absolutely, that's well put. Now, I want to tell the folks, just as a programming note, when we take a quick break here, we're going to come back and we're going to continue this conversation, sort of have a double segment conversation because hunger is such an important issue. We want to do that. But before I do that, up on screen, as we'll do on both segments, Second Harvest, NWNC.org is a website that you can go to. Second Harvest, NW stands for Northwest North Carolina.org. And also, if you should ever need David and Griff, you can go to DaggettShulerLaw.com. That's DaggettShulerLaw.com or call 724-1234.
It's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years. And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community. Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round, so everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Shuler.
Back now on Triad today as we continue our discussion on fighting hunger with Eric Aft, David Daggett, and Griff Shuler. Let me get back to Eric for a second. How pervasive is hunger in our area, and is the problem getting better or worse?
Yeah, as David alluded to, it is a tremendous challenge in our community. 1 in 7 individuals, unfortunately 1 in 5 of our kids face food insecurity. A great kind of illustration is the fact that just in the month of October, our partner agency network and us served over 84,000 individuals. And, when we think about that, those are seniors, kids, families, veterans in our community. If you think of kids in your kids' classroom or driving down the street, these are folks who sometimes need little help, and that's why we're here.
Well, in the previous segment, we talked about Hurricane Helene and the emergency relief help you were doing. Now, even through that, you had to keep up your normal day-to-day, 24/7 help for people. What kind of services do you continue for everybody, regardless of disaster?
Yeah, it's critical. As our team talked about, well, we only have one pie. I said, no, we will create another pie so we can respond to the disaster. Because whether it's providing food assistance on a daily basis or doing our nutrition education that Griff alluded to, our culinary training, our logistics and distribution management program, again, looking at that root cause to help people be successful. But it does start with what we put in our bodies. That fuels our brain development for kids and then keeps us healthy and ready to be active.
Yeah, David, since Eric mentioned kids, you and Griff have been active doing all sorts of things for kids, including backpack programs and things like that, to help kids get ready to learn, to get ready to live through school. How does that help sort of fit into what we're talking about in terms of preparing our kids and helping our kids now, but making them strong in the future?
It's a perfect fit. Investing in the food bank, supporting the food bank supports our future of our community, because when you have 1 in 5 kids who's hungry, their attention isn't on studying or becoming the best they can be. It's how am I going to make it through today? And that creates an instability in those segments of society. If we can stabilize that instability, it provides for a better future for all of us.
Yeah, we've talked about your commitment individually and David's. What about businesses? What do you say to other businesses about them getting involved to help the food bank?
Well, if you're trying to run a business and you're trying to, quote, make a profit, you also should be focusing in on how to give back. And you think about, here we are right about the holidays, or think about, Thanksgiving. You think about how blessed so many are. We don't think about food and you waste food. And so, one of the big things I think the Second Harvest Food Bank, essential theme is not wasting food and things like that. So, give back and help others. And, if all businesses did that and we collectively as a community got behind that, we'd be a lot better off.
Absolutely. And Eric, how important is it to sustain your mission when you get support from businesses like Daggett?
It's essential. It's actually, most of the money that we raise to invest back in our work comes from folks like Griff and David and members of their team and their organization. So, people sometimes think it's big foundations or large corporations.
Right.
We're thankful for that, but it's the individuals and small businesses that drive our budget.
Because the government isn't saying, here, Eric, here's a check, that kind of thing. Right. But David, you have something, don't you?
Yeah. So we had Eric in our office to speak to our staff, and that same day pick up our collection from our office that all of our employees contributed to. And here we have a little check here for Second Harvest Food Bank. And thank you for all you do. And we pledge and promise our continued support of your organization, not just through collection and donation, but also for spreading the word and offering encouragement to other organizations.
We greatly appreciate this.
Good job, guys. Up on screen, Second Harvest, NWNC.org is the website for more information. And you can also go to daggettshulerlaw.com or call 724-1234. Guys, thanks for all the hard work you do. Eric, it's like running an army for you, but you do it well, my friend.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate
David and Griff, thank you. And David, you're going to hang around for the roundtable later, right?
Yeah, yes,
All right.
yes.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back after this.